Good morning. Happy Thursday, Holiday Hill family. Josh here in the foyer area for Throwback Thursday. And today's Throwback Thursday is something we've talked about before. See, the Olympics are starting this week. And we've talked about Olympics before. We've talked about tug of war, which definitely needs to come back. Bring back tug of war. Again, who's turning off the TV for U.S. versus China tug of war? No one. No one's turning off the TV. We talked about art. There were art competitions in the Olympics. Well, here's an obscure one that I found to be very interesting. Club swinging. Yeah, you heard right. Club swinging. In the 1904 and then the 1932 Olympics, which took place in St. Louis and LA respectively, we had club swinging. It was basically rhythmic gymnastics 1.0, and it was interesting to say the least. So the competitor would hold these weighted clubs, one in each hand, almost like bowling pins or like juggler clubs, basically. They were weighted, and you had to spin them around in like a rhythmic dance. They could never leave your hand, so you couldn't like toss them or juggle them or catch them, but you had to spin them around, and then the judges would determine, who was the best, basically. In the 1904 Olympics, United States swept the medal stand, all three, gold, silver, and bronze. But then again, there were only three competitors, all from the United States. But then in the 1932 Olympics, you had four competitors, three from the United States and one from Mexico. And the U.S. swept it again. And that was the only two times you ever saw club swinging ever in the Olympics. But I want to talk about that 1932 competition, especially that gold medalist winner. The gold medal winner was named George Roth in 1932. He grew up in gymnastics. He was quite the athlete. Went to Cal Berkeley. He got a job working in petroleum and oil. But his reasoning for joining the Olympics, it was in LA, so it was his backyard, and he qualified. And again, he won the gold medal. But he had ulterior motives. See, in the 1930s was a time called the Great Depression. He was unemployed. Food was scarce. His ulterior motive was his family. You see, without a job and with food being scarce, he had a wife, he had kids. He had to feed his family. He was still quite a bit of an athlete, and he went in this because he could qualify. And why? So he could get food at the Olympic Village to take home to his family and feed them. Had nothing to do with the glory of the country or all the pomp and circumstance of the event. No, I need to feed my family. George got his gold medal on the stand like any other Olympics in front of a crowd of 60,000 people. And after he received his gold medal in front of 60,000 people, he hitchhiked his way home without a car or any money for transportation. This past week, when we were wrapping up the marriage series, we talked about how we talk about wanting to have men in leadership. Heavy is the head that wears that crown. So there's a lesson there. Gentlemen, value your families, love your wives, love your children, sacrifice for them. It's not a burden, it's a privilege and an honor. But see, this upcoming Sunday, Pastor Albert's talking about Jesus and the mission. What is the mission? What are the goals? What is the end game? Maybe you have goals today. How far are you willing to go for those goals? Maybe you have dreams and aspirations today. Sometimes dreams and aspirations, they cost. They don't fall into your lap. You got to work for them. George had a goal in mind. It was a noble one. Feed my family. He made it happen. And he made it work. What do you need to have happen today? What do you need to do to make it work? Take care. God bless. Go Team USA.